Hi, it's time for another verb of the day. Today's verb is deliver. Let's take a look at some of the definitions or ways that we can use this verb. The first way you are likely to hear the verb deliver used is to mean to bring and hand over a letter, a package, etc. to the proper recipient or to the proper address. So many days, if not almost every day, someone probably delivers mail to your house. So that is probably the easiest way to remember and think about this particular usage. A second way that you might hear the verb deliver used is to mean to provide something promised or expected. So you will hear, and you'll see in a later example, politicians will talk about delivering on promises. So providing what they said they would do if elected. A third way you might hear the verb deliver used is to mean to state in a formal manner. Again, you will hear elected officials being described as delivering a speech or delivering an address. A fourth way you might hear the verb deliver used is to mean to give birth or to assist someone who is giving birth. You should know that deliver is a regular verb. To make the progressive tense, we're going to add ing to form delivering. The past tense and participle forms of this verb are made by adding ed. The base verb deliver, ends in a voiced R sound. So our ed is going to make a d sound. Delivered, delivered. Let's take a look now at some phrasal verbs. One phrasal verb you might hear is to deliver from. This is a tad bit formal. I don't think it's something you'll hear every day, but in case you do, or maybe you see it while you're reading, to deliver someone or something from something else means to save, rescue, or set someone or something free. So let's take a look at an example of this. The firefighters delivered the children from the burning building. So just another way to say they saved them, they rescued them. Another phrasal verb you might hear is to deliver on. And this ties back to that second meaning we looked at earlier. So this means to fulfill a promise. So complete what you promised. So let's take a look at an example of this usage. Will she deliver on her promise to pay the debt by December 31st? Will she complete this payment? It sounds like from our example sentence. Let's continue practicing using our verb of the day, deliver. And today we'll practice with the past perfect verb tense, the present progressive, and the present perfect. We'll start with the past perfect. You're usually going to see this verb tense used in combination with other simple past tense verbs. The past perfect is signaling that something else happened before the other completed action. So to make the past perfect, we're going to use the past form of have, which is had, and then we use the participle form of the verb. Let's look at an affirmative example. She had delivered the baby before she tested positive for COVID-19. This is unfortunately a sentence that I've heard different variations of over the last 6 or 8 months. People not realizing they have it when they're going in for another procedure or to give birth. If I want to make a negative past perfect sentence, I'm going to insert not after had, and then I'll have my participle. Here's an example. Our representative hadn't delivered on his campaign promises before the election. If I want to make a yes or no question, I will start with had, then I'll have my subject, and then the participle form of the verb. Had the governor delivered her address before the news broke? Okay. So with all of these past perfect sentences, you're seeing that signal before. And again, it's all of these are trying to note that something happened, or we're wondering if something happened before another past action. Now let's turn to the present progressive. Some people will know this as the present continuous. It means the same thing. With this verb tense, we're talking about something that is happening right now or something that's in progress. And to make the present progressive, we're going to use a present form of be, so that's am, is, or are, and then we'll use the ing form of the verb. Let's look at an affirmative sentence. Autonomous cars are delivering fresh produce in Miami. Now, the word autonomous might be new for you, but the idea is self-driving. So there might not be a human being who's behind the wheel, pushing the gas pedal or the brake pedal and driving the car. And this sentence comes out of a news article. Again, this idea, they're taking something to the proper address and leaving it there. To make a negative present progressive sentence, we need to insert not after our be verb. And then we'll, again, have that ing form as well. So let's take a look at another negative present progressive example. The apartment manager says the post office isn't delivering residents' mail. Okay? So again, we're describing something that is in progress. In this sentence, I borrowed again from another newspaper article. I think the story was out of Tennessee, that there was some sort of issue that they were trying to figure out how people could get their mail. Finally, if I want to make a yes or no question in the present progressive, I'm going to start with a form of be, again, am, is, or are. Then I'll have my subject, then the ing form of the verb. Is the CEO delivering results for the company? So, is the CEO producing good results for the company? Now let's take a look at the present perfect. With this verb tense, I'm describing an action that started in the past and it continues into the present, or I might be describing an action that was completed at some time in the past, but I don't know when. Many times you'll hear teachers call this the indefinite past tense. So we don't know, did it happen yesterday? Did it happen 7 years ago? And it might not matter. So to make the present perfect, we're going to use have or has. And that's controlled by our subject. If our subject is I, you, we, or they, we're going to use have. If our subject is he, she, or it, we'll use has. And then we're going to have the participle form of the verb. Let's take a look at the affirmative example. The nonprofit has delivered more than 50,000 pounds of food during the pandemic. So this sentence is probably in the present perfect because the action started in the past, maybe 7-8 months ago, and it's still continuing because the pandemic is ongoing. If I want to make a negative present perfect sentence, I'm going to insert not after have or has. And you might hear native speakers use the contraction forms haven't or hasn't. Let's look at an example. The new state laws haven't delivered benefits to residents yet. Finally, if I want to make a yes or no question in the present perfect, I'm going to start with have or has, then I'll have my subject, and then the participle form of the verb. Has the judge delivered a verdict in the case? So again, this sort of ties back to that formal statement. I think that was definition 3 we looked at earlier. Now let's take a look at some words that are related to our verb deliver. And the first word we're going to look at is delivery. This is a noun, and just like the verb, it can have a few different meanings. I picked out 3 that I thought might be more common for you to hear. So the first way we could use the noun delivery is to mean the action of delivering letters or packages or really anything. Here's an example of this usage. And this might be something you've seen if you've ordered something online. Allow 1 week for delivery. So allow a week before you can expect the package to be at your house or apartment. The next way we could use the noun delivery is to mean the manner or style of giving a speech. An example sentence with that usage is, his delivery was so smooth. So the way in which someone spoke, right? You will hear some people's delivery is described as nervous. You might hear that sort of thing, or see someone flipping through notes. Their voice may sound shaky, and that's one of many ways you could describe someone's way or approach in giving a speech. Again, another meaning for the noun delivery connects to our fourth definition of the verb, the process of giving birth. Here's an example of that. Was her husband there for the delivery? Another way to say, was the husband there for the birth of the child? The next word we're going to look at is deliverable. It can be an adjective or a noun. So as an adjective, right, we can notice that suffix, the end of the letters at the end of the word, A-B-L-E, so able to be delivered, right? An example of that usage is this gift deliverable. Right? It might not work to have certain things shipped or sent to someone. The noun deliverable is really common to hear in business and in office and office type work, project management especially. So as a noun, it means a thing able to be provided, especially as some sort of product. So a deliverable could be some type of report. It could be a video or some other production. It could be a piece of software or a computer program. But again, you'll hear this word used quite a lot as business professionals talk about things they are doing for clients or customers. Here is an example of this noun in a sentence. The deliverables are due to the client by December 15th. And from this sentence, we don't know exactly what the deliverables are, but we could imagine that maybe being said in an email or in a meeting to remind people that there's a particular due date they need to keep in mind with their project. Thanks so much for watching today's video. I hope you have a great day.